Yes. Oh yeah, sure.
That's it. Just taking it out. About that high.
Is there
I'm not getting a picture with him. Gutty thinks that he's hot.
What?
Yeah, I don't want a picture with this guy. Not anymore.
No, but I mean, it's your last time you'll be grade 8 and grade 8.
A picture of him, he's scaring him out. So teachers can't be nice and tie us. They have to go pick Pat.
Pardon me? Sure.
Oh yeah. Barrel through them and take a peek in the woods. Oh yeah, that one. Hi. They're flying in the car.
He mentioned it. I told him to get that. That was a nice film.
Well, I hope that he would have got a little better deed.
The meal, we have a few things that we must do first of all, and I would call on Mr. Green to toast the Queen.
Thank you. If you will stand, please. Join with me. Toasting Her Royal Highness, the Queen.
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 Please be seated. We've asked Mr. Warwick to come out of retirement from December to propose a toast to the graduates.
Just before I do toast the graduates, I'd like to make a few comments about my time at Queen Elizabeth School. I do want to thank the organizers of the graduation for inviting me here to give the toast to the graduates. I feel quite honored, and I'm glad to be here to enjoy the meal with you. I have one little item of business to attend to, though. Laura Prochnow, your hair looks just beautiful. She got after me the other day at the barbecue that I didn't notice her new hairstyle. And I said, oh, well, maybe I'll notice at the graduation. So I just want to bring it to her attention that I do pay attention to these things. I won't be at Queen Elizabeth School next fall, and that's because the Lakehead Board of Education has a policy where they rotate or transfer their principals and vice principals about every 5 years on an average, maybe 4, 5, or 6 years. You can't expect to stay at a school much longer than that. So they have transferred me to an institution of higher learning, Roslyn Village School, which is a former school of Michael. So I'm looking forward to that. I was over there today kind of getting a little feel for the school, and I'm looking forward to that, but I'm going to miss Queen Elizabeth School very much. I really enjoyed a lot being at the school. I've taught in about 7 or 8 different schools in the system, and some of them were very favorite schools with me. But there was something special about Queen Elizabeth School, and I just wanted to mention that before I did the toast. What I did find about our school is that it was very challenging. In fact, in my first 4 months at the school, I've never been more challenged all my life in 30 years of teaching. And they still manage to do that even today. I'm not too sure if Mike remembers, but 2 years ago, I was teaching a class, and then at Christmas time, I decided to go and take the library over so I could give up half the time of teaching and get away from that mob that was there. The thing that I found most unusual about this particular school, though, is I've never come across a group of children that shows more affection than I did at our school. They continually want to come up to you, they want to hold your hand, they want to hug you, they want to talk to you. I've never noticed that in any other school, and it's very unique. That indicates what a good bunch of kids that go to that school. They always make you feel special because they talk to you a lot, and they want to know what you're thinking, and they want to talk to you more than anything else. And so as a result, they make you feel very special to be there. And that's why in January, in the first week before the kids came back, I had to go to the school and box up and package up all the books and that, because I knew I wouldn't be there in the fall. And so I was there by myself doing all that work, and on Friday when I left there about 2 o'clock, I really felt bad when I walked across that school ground to go home that I wouldn't be there in the fall, because I really did enjoy it. And the other interesting thing about the school is the staff. It's a fun staff. They get along well together. We have a lot of good times. There have been a lot of staff changeover, especially in grades 1 to 4, but we keep getting these good people to the school. And so grade 8, the toast to you. We want to wish you the best of luck in your new year. Grade 8, of course, is a big milestone in your life. Grade 12 will be another big milestone, and hopefully most people will get there. We have tried our best to give you an education, to give you a good grounding, a good firm foundation for your future schooling. The teaching profession, education, has been getting quite a hard knock this last 4 or 5 years. Some people think that teachers aren't doing their job that they used to do at once upon a time. But I would like to say to you that if we haven't prepared you well enough for high school, it hasn't been for a lack of trying. We've tried to give you as good an education as we can. So we're going to be following your progress. We're going to be asking people who come to visit, how's Mike doing? Or, how's Chris Murtagic doing? And Shannon, you know, we're going to be keeping our eyes open and our ears open to follow your progress through high school. We've watched you progress. I've been at the school for 5.5 years. We've had so much fun together. Sports was always big at the school, and you people were so fortunate that Mr. Kushner and Mr. Wisnick took you to Toronto on your trip, and I've heard so many good things from them about you. So we have nothing but good to say about you. We wish you the best of luck, as I said, and so I'd like to ask the grade 7s, the parents, and the teachers to stand. To the graduates. To the graduates.
They're grade 7.
Thank you very much.
And finally, we'll ask Madame Bizak to say grace.
Please stand once more.
She's singing.
Now that we've finished the best part of the evening, we'll have to carry on with the rest of the program. Let us begin first of all by introducing the head table guests to you. If you do have an applause, please wait until I've introduced them all. On the far left then, I've already introduced Madame Vijac. She teaches the French for grades 1 to 8. Next to her is Miss Drombolis, who is the CERT teacher. Next to her is Mr. Warwick's replacement, Mrs. Grant. And indeed, we landed dandy there. And, of course, Mr. Warwick, we've already mentioned. And Mrs. Bevan, who is the treasurer of the home and school. Mr. Green, the vice principal. And Mr. Kushner, the half grade 7 and 8 and the resource teacher. And I'm Bill Wisdom. Now, it's fortunate that I have a program here. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to tell who the graduates are. However, let's begin, first of all, by introducing the graduates, and then I would ask that they, in turn, introduce their guests. First of all, Desi Berry. Stand, Desi. Unfortunately, Desi's parents had commitments, and thus he's with Pat. Michael Cack.
This is my mom. My dad. That's all I'm saying.
Patrick Sean.
This is my mom, Barb. My father.
Shannon Goodwin.
This is my dad, George. This is my mom, Carrie, and that's Rob, our family friend.
And I guess the biggest contingent of all, Kari Kempinen.
It's my dad, Oli. It's my mom, Rita. It's my sister, Ian. It's my friend, Linda.
John King.
This is my grandmother, Florence. This is my mother, Gail, and my father, Dave.
Chris Murtagic.
This is my father, Hank. This is my mom, Bev.
Vicky Ojala.
This is my mother, Paula, and this is my father, Tony.
Yana Pena.
This is my mom, Pia, my dad, Elmo, my sister, Monica.
Danielle Chu.
This is my mother, Rachel. And that's my dad, Ian.
Janice Sangster.
This is my mother, Brenda.
And finally, Sherilyn Vasey.
That's my dad, John, and my mom, Karen.
These then are the graduates and their parents. We also have with us 6 grade 7s, grade 8s hopefully next year. Heidi Bida, Stan Heidi, Lori Coons, Audrey Golding, Annie McGuire, Laura Prochnow, and the best looking of them all, Brian Goldman. We'll begin then with the presentations. Each year, the Oliver Road Rec Center presents 2 awards to Queen Elizabeth School. Unfortunately, this year, the people are having some kind of a party at their rec center, and as a result, no one was able to come and present the awards. However, Mr. Kushner will present the 2 awards, which are the most improved and the most deserving.
The most deserving is for that student that exemplifies all the traits that teachers usually look for in a student. The one that helps out in the classroom, is played at all times, works on all the various committees around the building, takes part in all the activities, and is generally just an all-round good student in all areas, socially and academically. This year, the most deserving student is Danielle Pichot. the Alton Rec Association presents is for the most improved. And this is for the student academically mainly, who has shown the greatest improvement in work habits, effort, and overall grades throughout the year. This year's recipient is Yana Penna. She might even smile when she gets this one.
While we were away traveling, a banquet was held for the Walter Poschar Award, and I'd ask Mr. Green to now present the award to the recipient.
This will be the second time I get to award this particular trophy. The last time I got to award it to not the person who earned it, but the person who probably had a lot of ownership in the individual earning the award. This time I get to award it to the person who actually did the work. The Walter Poschar Award is offered throughout the system. At one time it was offered to one student only in the entire system, and there was a very large competition. It was obvious that many worthwhile and deserving people were bypassed, and so the award has been expanded to include more and more each year. This year, the second time, I guess, that we've had a large system presentation. Unfortunately, our recipient was off enjoying herself instead of being at the dinner at the dinner with the rest of us to receive the award. So at this time, I would like to present it to Shannon Goodwin.
This one you get to keep. This one you have to return to the school, put on the wall. Okay.
Shannon. Come over here.
The next award is a school award, and that is to the graduate who demonstrated the greatest academic improvement.
Seems kind of hard to present this award twice, but again, for the student who demonstrated throughout the year that along with the ability, their work habits and overall effort improved throughout the year, this is an annual award that Queen Elizabeth Home and School has provided for us. It's a Progress Award, and this year the recipient is Yana Penna.
Since I've had surgery, I'm unable to claim all these awards, so the next award is for the Outstanding Athletic Achievement. Mr. Kushner will present that award.
Mr. Wisner couldn't claim the award before he had the surgery. Greatest athletic achievement has been presented since 1985. It goes traditionally to the top male and top female student in grade 8. We generally try to keep it to the grade 8 class, understanding the grade 7s will have a chance next year, hopefully. Last year we had something of a fluke, and that was where, for the first time in the history of the award, we actually had a tie. And it was because we had two athletes who were so close that we could not differentiate between the two of them. We decided to get two awards. We said at that time we wouldn't do it again. Athletic achievement is not only for ability, but it's also for sportsmanship. We go on the effort, the ability, and the overall good sportsmanship that the players exhibit throughout the year, both in the school and out in inter-school activities. This year, the recipient of the Female Athlete of the Year Award is Shannon Goodwin. As we said, as for the female, the male is the same. We give it to the student who has led our teams to victory in the various inter-school athletics, has taken part and co-captained the various teams at the school level, and has also shown on the playground and during their phys ed classes that they are in fact the best all-round athletes. Last year it was a tie between Sam and Jason. This year we have a tie between Patrick and Desi.
Patrick, look at that. Who's there to look at that clock? I guess I get to do the last one, mainly because of all my coaching with this particular person. This is to the highest ranking academic graduate. And it's not necessarily male, female, it's whoever gets the highest mark. And we determine that by averaging the marks and then coming up with the winner. And this year, Shannon. Mrs. Bevan will now present the medals.
I get the honors to give everyone a medal. I'm sure you all deserve it. I want to thank you all. I'm talking to the kids who are graduating in particular. I really hope all the best for all of you. It's fun. All right. Well, Justin.
Desi Berry. Desi Berry. Michael Catlin. Patrick Chondon. Shannon Goodwin. Break down this. Kari Kempinen. John King. Break down this, please. Chris Martaglia, Vicky Ojala, Yana Pena, Danielle Pichu, Janice Sangster, Carolyn Basic, and while they're standing there, we'll also give them their certificates. Chris. And Danielle. These then are your 1990 graduates.
You are cute, Danielle.
John.
Mr. Kushner and Wisner get together, please?
Still get Andy. Okay. Shoulder like that. There. Squish. Oh. Yours is squishy, right?
Where are we looking?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Just look ahead.
All
Right
right.
there. Yay! For the picture. You finished?
Danielle will have the last word. May I congratulate the parents and also the students for the fine year they have had. I'd like to also thank Mrs. Goodwin for arranging this evening once again for us. She did a super job. Thank you very much. Danielle?
Look to this day, for yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes makes yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Good evening, parents, teachers, and fellow classmates. I ask you to look on to this day, for it is one of our last days together as a grade 8 class. Next year we'll be going our separate ways as we enter grade 9. When you step into grade 9, it is a very large thing. Some people think it's just a little thing, but some people think that step is just a little thing, but it really isn't that little. As you take that step, you are leaving the shelter of elementary school. Everyone whom I have spoken to has said the same thing, that grade 9 is the hardest and the best year of high school because of all the changes that occur and all the people you meet. Queen Elizabeth has brought many happy years to my life. Most of us have grown up together. We have seen each other at our best and at our worst times. And we have each done our own little part in driving Mr. Warwick, Mr. Kushner, and Mr. Wisner crazy. Grade 9 will be filled with news. A new school, new teachers, new friends, and a whole new way of doing things. Not like now. The teachers know us so well that I think at times they can read our minds. But that's all right. We can read theirs at times too. We know when we can goof off and when we cannot. Queen Elizabeth is a small school compared to most of the schools in Thunder Bay, but I believe a small school is better because then you don't just know everybody by name, you know them as an individual. We have all excelled in our own way this year. Shannon and Desi with their sport expertise, Pat with his humor, Justin with his drawings, Getty in his woodworking, Chris can finally do a chin-up on the door frames. Vicky can make it to Hutches and back in less than 10 minutes. Cheryl Lynn made it through grade 8 without breaking any body parts. Janice thinks grade 8 in England is better. John learned how to use a dictionary for other purposes. Dan realized it was easier to sit in your desk than to kick it. Yana found out that at halftime in basketball you change ends. Mike decided it was easier to catch a baseball without your hat on. Whenever you are feeling down and out, blue, yellow, pink, green, or purple, just think back to all the things that have happened along the years in Queen Elizabeth. When in grade 5 we went swimming at Silver Islet in Lake Superior, and we had to change on the bus. Desi putting second base in the middle of a mud puddle. Walking around the zoo in the heat. Brian getting lost in Wonderland. as well as some other things that we've done along the way. Even though I'm going to miss our red brick schoolhouse, I'm glad I'm moving on. Oh, and Mr. Kushner, we knew which one the whale was.
Thank you very much, Danielle. This then concludes our part of the presentation. I understand dances to follow, so have a good evening.